All right, movie lovers, I got a special treat for you guys today. We are here in the studio with the beautiful, talented Miss Karimah Westbrook to talk about Suburbicon, Oscar season, and so much more. And first, thanks for stopping by to talk to us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We go way back, but it's like I've been watching you on your profession. I was on the set of Bolden, and I worked with Jade on Truth Hall, and so, but we never really talked business on screen. I'm like really excited about this year because I feel like this is your season coming. Like you've been doing your thing, but I feel like your turn is next.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. It's been a long journey. So.
Let's talk about Suburbicon first, because I mean it's been a lot of buzz about this film. We went down to Las Vegas to CinemaCon when they started teasing the film, and Matt Damon, Oscar Isaac, Julianne Moore. Yeah, I mean it's a wonderful cast of characters along with you. Like, tell me about the process, about the audition process, and no, first tell me about the film. Tell the audience what can they expect with Suburbicon.
Suburbicon is a quirky film. It's really good. I mean, you have to see for yourself. But Suburbicon is really like a play on the suburbs. You know, we see this classic suburbia family. You know, who like on the outside, you know, they look perfectly normal, but in actuality, they have a lot of dark secrets in this town. And you know, then you have this all-black family who moves into Suburbicon, and the town has their special way of embracing them.
Oh wow!
So, yeah.
And you're the head of that family.
Yes, I'm the head of the family.
Wow. So, I mean that's exciting. I mean, to be in a film. I mean, you've been in a lot of projects. One of my favorites was American Violet. You know, way back, but I mean, this one seems to have a lot of mileage going into the war season. Like people are already kind of picking it as one of those films to look out for, and everybody's excited about it. How does it feel to be in that mix, to be like in a war contender content? American Violet was too, but this seems like more of a front runner.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I've never been in this position before. You know, I've been working at this for a very long time, so I'm ecstatic. I'm like happy if anybody is nominated, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels good. You know, this is all very, you know, new, press junket and all of that. So I'm enjoying the ride, but it's very exciting.
And what is your workflow? I mean, you work on a couple of films a year. Are you doing TV also? And how do you like balance, or how do you select which projects are like right for you?
Sorry. I do both. I do television and both film, you know, and with the audition process, it's kind of like, if you're hired, yes, but, you know, I feel like I'm a professional auditioner. That's the word. Because it's like you're always auditioning, and then you book that job, and then that's your job, and then the job is over, and then you're auditioning again to book the next job. So I flow between, like, films and then television. I've done a lot of guest spots, recurring spots, and you know, film projects. So, but I'm hoping after this project things will be a little more consistent. You know? Yeah. But overall, I'm very happy.
Do you get attached to like certain projects where you audition for and you really think you got it? I mean, like, do you allow yourself to get attached to the project before you know you got it or not?
Oh yeah. For All Eyes on Me, I auditioned for Tupac's mom, Afeni. And I read her book, you know, I was like, yeah, I was there, you know. Yeah. But I didn't get it. I hadn't really cried in a long time, but I shed a little tear. I was like, I really wanted that role. But, you know, very early on, I learned to, like, just let go. You know, I throw my sides, my audition material in the garbage so I won't think about it. Yeah. You know, because when I was younger, I used to take it really hard when I didn't book jobs. I would be crying like, why, Lord, why? You know. And it's like, you only can do that for so long before you get completely turned off from the business. So I had to really kind of change my perspective on how I look at that, you know. Yeah. And so now it's like, what's for me is for me. And, you know, now I'm just like, I wanted that.
You know, a lot of things have been in the news this week with kind of like the downfall of Harvey Weinstein, and people talking about the casting couch and what happens to a lot of, you know, young, beautiful, aspiring actresses trying to make their way into business. How do you protect yourself from producers or people that might try to push the envelope.
Get you on the casting couch?
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, you really have to just stay prayed up in this business. I think, you know, when I was younger, when I first started, when I moved out here, I didn't like to go out, you know, because of, I mean, I'm a woman, didn't really know a lot of people out here, but I found the times that I did go out, I was exposed to more people who weren't really about nothing, you know. Oh, you know, if they feel like you're an actor and you're green, kind of like, yeah, I'm a director, here's my card, give me a call. And I just feel like you have to just trust your instincts. You know, you want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but a lot of times there are a lot of predators out here, so you really have to trust your instinct and really stand for something. You know, before I moved out here, I would always hear stories about different actresses who were really established. Oh, they slept with this person, they slept with that person. So, you know, there's this misconception that, you know, you have to be out, you have to be meeting people, and then you have to sleep your way to the top. But every job that I've booked, I've never known any of the people that were on the project. So I never had to sleep with anyone to book anything. So
Yeah.
I feel like, so that's a bit of a myth. You know, but clearly with Harvey Weinstein, the stories that have been exposed with him, it does exist as far as people in prominent, you know, positions, and even with, like, you know, Bill Cosby, you
Yeah.
know, allegedly, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't think someone would make those things up. But you just have to use your best judgment and your instincts, and really, if you have an agent, try to have them or a manager, have them kind of negotiate business for you. If someone's like, I got a project, oh, call my manager, call my agent, you know.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a barrier that actors could have for themselves.
Hopefully your manager or agent don't have to sleep with nobody.
I know, that would be a crime. Like, what? You got your
I took one for the team.
Right, exactly.
So I know you're saying you moved out here, and what compelled you to chase this dream? Because I know a lot of people want to get into the movie business or want to be an actor, and you know, it's a lot of self-doubt and fear, but to take the jump to come out here to do this, like, what compelled you to do that? Like, where did you find the confidence? Did you start in theater, and when did you make that move?
I did start in theater. A lot of Chitlin circuit plays is what we called them back in Chicago. It's kind of like community theater. You know, I never was like a good man in any of the big theater houses, but I've always wanted to do it, and I just believed in myself. At the time before I moved out here, I was heavily into religion, so my faith was like super strong. Like, I knew that everything is possible, and so I just went for it. But I had a plan. You know, I made as much as I could, you know, plan to move to LA, but I feel like everything started to fall into place. It was like I wrote down my goals. I'm very goal oriented, so I wrote down what I wanted to do, and I felt like with that and me believing that it was possible, things started to fall into place. It was very magical, for lack of a better word, you know. And I ended up booking a job, Save the Last Dance, and that gave me enough money to actually move to LA. But really, I just believed in myself. I just, you know, I didn't have anything to lose. It was just kind of like, if I didn't do it, I would always be looking back regretting, like, what if? You know, I didn't want to have those what ifs, and so I just went for it, you know.
What happens, I was talking to another young actor that I won't mention a name, but what happens in the in-between? Like, you book that big job with Save the Last Dance, and then sometimes in the process of, you know, getting your foot in the door, it's like big lulls of space in between. Mm-hmm. And unlike many of us, you can't really, as an actor, you can't compromise your image and go work somewhere where somebody sees you behind a desk and be like, oh, she, you know, look what happened. She fell off. She's working at. Like, how did you?
Listen, you got to do what you got to do. If you need to be behind somebody's desk to pay your bills, I mean, that's what it is. And you can't really be like, oh, people. I mean, trust me, I've been there. Was like, you know, worked a little bit and felt like, oh my God, but your bills are very real. So it's just kind of like, are you going to forsake everything that you have, taking care of your responsibilities based off of what a stranger may think, you know? And I feel like at the end of the day, it's like, if you have a problem with working and doing what you need to do as far as being able to take care of your responsibilities, it's like, you must believe that you're going to be at that job forever. So it's kind of like if you have faith that things are going to work out for you, it's kind of like you just know that's in the meantime, you know. So for me, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've worked at hotels, you know, get services overnight, I've done a lot of things that I didn't want to do, but like I said, I knew that I wasn't always gonna be there, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the in between time, you work, you cry, you mope. But now I feel like that's when you're not really like, you're more wanting somebody to give it to you. But I feel like now, me myself, and I encourage all actors, is kind of like create.
Yeah.
You know that in between time, you acting isn't contingent on someone hiring you. You can create your own opportunities now. So it's just kind of like, it's a new day. You don't really need thousands, millions of dollars to make something now. You could get your iPhone and create something and generate some work for yourself.
Was there a project, a movie, or actor or actress that you saw on screen or you saw on stage that you kind of like, I want to do that because of what I'm looking at right now? Like, was it something like that?
Absolutely. Whoopi Goldberg, hands down. I was like, she had like all the Color Purple. I was a kid, but I cried on Color Purple, and then like Jumpin' Jack Flash and Fatal Beauty. And I remember looking at her, like, I felt like she looked like me, She was dark skinned, natural hair, funny. And she just took me out of my reality for the times that I watched her, from Ghost, Sister Act. I just loved her. She really inspired me to want to do the same thing.
Wow. Have you had a chance to work with her?
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
Well, we got a surprise guest, Miss. No, just joking. Well, that's wonderful. I mean, like I remember those projects too, and she did stand out as even. Not as a black woman, just as you see your real reflection on screen, or just that you belong somewhere in this other world. So tell us about some of the other projects, because I know Suburbicon is big, and we'll be talking about that all the way through February, and hopefully, the project will get some awards or something, accolades. But Bolden has been a project in the works for a long time.
A very long time.
And we don't know when that. Do you have a release date on that yet, or are we still?
I don't, but I have seen it.
Yeah.
So it's done.
So done.
Hopefully next year or something like that, we'll see it. I don't know, but yeah, that's been in the works for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projects. I mean, people always think that you guys shot the movie the week before it came out, and but there's a lot of projects that sit in the can, or that may not ever make the screen, or that people work on, and you just never know what's going to happen. Or when you get into a project, you usually know when it's.
Well, it depends on what level the project is. If it's a studio film, like, okay, it's going to go. But if it's an independent film, there's so many different elements, especially if they don't have like the money post-production, then there's a whole another budget that's needed for like marketing, distribution, so independent films is a little shaky because you don't really know unless it's like fully financed all the way through the release.
Yeah.
But most films, they do. If they, have it together, most films do. If they have distribution in place already, you can look forward to seeing them being released.
Yeah.
Bolden is a special case because they recast the film. And over time, people, got older and stuff like that. There was a schedule, so there was a lot of different elements that played a part in this delay.
Yeah.
But I think that it's exactly what the director wants now. And I think it's a fabulous piece. I can't wait for people to see it.
I want to talk a little about faith, because you said that when you was coming from Chicago, you was real in touch with, religion and faith. And a lot of people, especially a lot of people in the Bible Belt, think that Hollywood just, it's evil, it's the devil. And has it been easy to stay in touch with your faith while dealing with the evil of Hollywood, I suppose?
Gosh, I'll say I don't think Hollywood is evil.
Yeah.
I think that we have different personalities that may reflect darker sides, but that's everywhere, right? Not just in Hollywood. I think that I've been able to maintain my faith. I feel like I've had moments of when I was very immature in my walk where I felt like I was being punished if if I didn't book a job, I'd be like, why, Lord, why I'm living righteously and all these things, and it just really didn't have nothing to do with anything, right?
Yeah.
But I was just immature in my understanding. But yeah, I've definitely been able to maintain my faith. But there's been years that's been a little rougher for me to, have understanding. When I moved to LA, I was introduced to so many different types of beliefs. That spun me into a whole nother journey of searching for the ultimate truth. But today, 2017, as I talk to you, yes, I feel like my faith is very firm. I feel like I've gone full circle. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's very important to have that foundation, because that's going to keep you going. It gives you something to hold on to, gives you something to believe in. So, because there are times where you might not understand why certain things are happening in your life, and that it's a source of comfort. It gives you something to believe in, and it helps you to maintain your strength through your walk out here.
In society, I mean, like in sports and in journalism, we've seen people recently be punished for being outspoken or saying stuff that they didn't think was right, bringing stuff to the forefront, like Jamel Hill and Colin Kaepernick. Do you feel like that applies to actors too? Like, because I know Gabrielle Union's very outspoken on a lot of things. Do you think Hollywood tries to punish people for, which they say Hollywood talks too much, but do you think, like, within the industry, if you bring up ills of the industry or ills of society, that it affects your job status? Like,
perhaps. I mean, I've heard of stories, I don't really know if they're true, about people being blackballed. There's always this thing of like, they were blackballed, and I was like, who blackballed them though? Like, who did it? What happened? But I don't really know. But I've heard stories. I've never experienced anything personally, but I've heard stories. Hollywood is very liberal, so there's a lot of people who are very outspoken out here. So it's almost seemed like a community of people who are outspoken against the same thing, a lot of the same things. We're artists, so it's like we're more heart-driven anyway. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know anyone personally. I've just always heard stories of people being blackballed, but it's possible.
What do you do on your off time when you're not acting and you're not, doing the in-between work or whatever? Like, what's Karimah? I kind of know sometimes because you invite me to some of these things. But what do you do to just like relax and kick it and clear your mind on things?
I stay at I love the beach, so I'm always by the water. Anytime I can go, I'm like, I need to get to the beach. It rejuvenates me. I do that a lot. Maybe hike, hang out with friends sometimes. It's so funny. I don't really do a whole lot. Every time someone asks me that question, I feel like a hermit. I feel like a boring person. Like, I don't really do a whole lot. I'm always like researching stuff. I always say I probably was like a detective in my former life, because I'll hear about crimes and stuff like that, and I like trying to like solve them myself in my own home. Like, I'll be looking online like, that happened. There's a little weird thing that I can kind of get into. It stimulates my mind.
All right, guys, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna throw it to some clips from Suburbicon. Let y'all see what that's about. We're gonna come back to finish talking to Miss Karimah Westbrook. Y'all just stay tuned.
Welcome to Suburbicon, a town of great wonder and excitement.
Hey there.
Built with the promise of prosperity for all.
Nikki, you need to get up. There are men in the house. Son, there's something I have to tell you. Those men killed your mom.
We've decided it'd be best if your Auntie Margaret came and stayed with us.
Nikki needs a mother.
We'll be strong. We'll be fine.
Mr. Lodge?
Yes.
You know a character named Rizzoli? He's a loan shark. If you were into the mob for money, that might explain what happened to your wife. Hi, pal.
This is the last time that clown's gonna ignore us. Take care of a kid.
Nikki?
You These animals took everything from us. I have to make decisions like what's best for the family.
Any progress on the investigation?
A mobster got killed a couple of days ago.
I can end the conversation real quick. I'm sorry for his loss.
Life? Yeah, I guess he probably is too.
Nobody speak.
I'm here to collect.
What do you want?
I want all of it. All of it.
Nothing like this ever happened here.
This is a safe place. It was.
Would you like a cup of coffee?
Nobody speak. Towns and villages burning, looting, and pillaging.
I could have you killed in no time.
I could kill you too.
All right, and we're back. I hope y'all enjoyed that piece of the trailer, and I mean, I need to know about Daisy Myers. We don't see that much of her in the trailer. I know more is going to be revealed, but can you tell us about this character? I mean, I'm just finding out this was a true story.
Yeah. Well, thank you for asking. Yes, Daisy Myers is her and William were known as like civil rights pioneers, and basically they experienced something very similar to what's shown in Suburbicon, and they experienced it in Levittown, Pennsylvania in 1957. So basically they moved to Levittown looking for the American dream, to live the American dream, rightfully so, and they're met with hatred, bigotry, discrimination.
Yeah. Every time I tell people that Pennsylvania is the South, I'm like, the Mason-Dixon line is in Pennsylvania. Like, God, people think that's all the way north, but
yeah,
that was, you had to get somewhere in Pennsylvania to be with the Quakers, to be free, so-called, back in the day. So, yes, I mean, that's believable that Levittown had some issues, as did the North. And, you know, nowhere you was free from some of the ills of society. But how did you get into that character? Did you, is she still around? Were you able to meet her descendants? Or?
Well, she passed away, but I had a chance to read her book. She wrote a book called Sticks and Stones, The Myers Family in Levittown, and that gave me a lot of information on their account there. And I had a chance to meet her children, Barry and Linda, in Toronto, when we screened the film at the Toronto Film Festival, so they were there for that. And I did a lot of research online, you know, to learn as much as I could about them, and I was pretty fascinated because, you know, they're civil rights leaders that we don't really hear a lot about. You know, they basically broke the color barrier into black families moving into an all-white suburb, you know, and so I was very humble and excited to know that she was known as like the Rosa Parks of the North, you know, and so I'm glad that this part of their life is, you know, being brought to life in Suburbicon.
Wow. Well, I think everybody's excited. If they're not, they're definitely excited now to find out about Suburbicon, and they'll be checking it out. Do you do a lot on social media? Do you?
I do. I just started to really get more into social media now. At first I used to be like, oh, I ain't got time, you know. But now, you know, everyone's like, you gotta do it, you know. And I get it. It's just, you know, to answer your question, yes.
Yeah.
I am on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter now.
Okay. What do you binge watch, or do you watch a lot of streaming service, Netflix, or anything like that when you're in your off time? And if so, what type of things do you watch?
I love Black Mirror. I binge watch. Once I found out about that show, I binge watched that. I think I probably watched all 3 seasons in a few days. I was really into Big Little Lies. I kind of was watching Narco. Those are some of the shows on Netflix that I like binge watch. Yeah. Well, not Big Little Lies, but Narco and Black Mirror.
Yeah.
And but I'm a big fan of like what's on Oprah right now. What's on OWN. Like, I love Queen Sugar. I love Greenleaf. I mean, like, I'm hooked on those shows.
Yeah.
I can't binge watching because they're like week to week. But I appreciate binge watching because now it's like, you know, watching it episode per episode, you gotta wait until the next week, you know?
Yeah.
So I like the idea of like having all the episodes on Netflix and just being able to watch everything through.
What do you think about this year of the women? I mean, first it was Wonder Woman, which broke all these records, and you mentioned Queen Sugar, which Ava, you know, hired all women directors to do both seasons. And I mean, do you feel like there's a renaissance in women in Hollywood, and at least being recognized and given opportunities more than it had been in the past, and do the roles reflect that also?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's a big shift, and I'm excited about it. It's like, finally, like, good. So I definitely feel like there's a big shift happening. There's more women in powerful positions to hire women, and you know, we have more female writers and creators, and they're creating female lead characters. You know, we've seen a lot more of that across all nationalities, and you know, that's very exciting because art imitates life, right, as far as in front of the camera. So I'm happy to see, you know, every race in lead positions, and just on television overall, you know?
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. If you haven't started following Karimah Westbrook, now's your opportunity, because she's going to be going far, so you're going to be real entertained. And thanks for the time. I'm excited about this film and just about your career. I mean, you killed it so hard in American Violet, where you was just like not the Karimah that I see. You was hard. you was a different person.
Yeah.
But when I watched that performance at that time, I knew, I was like, wow, she's got something that's gonna do something. So I'm excited about these big projects and excited about having you here. So thanks again, and you guys stay tuned. We got a whole season of the Contenders, and we jumped it off with Miss Karimah Westbrook. So y'all just keep it locked in. We'll see which one of these contenders starts bringing home those trophies in the award season.
Hopefully Suburbicon.
Hopefully Suburbicon. All right, guys. Talk to you later.